title. And here now with the Crew 2 is executive producer Ahmed Boukhalifa. Is that close?
Yes.
Ahmed Boukhalifa, good to see you. So let's talk about the Crew 2. Very cool trailer that we got to see there.
Thank you.
New York City, Madison Square Garden, it felt like, with the Ubisoft version or something I saw.
Yeah.
So, the Crew 2 racing titles, we saw Forza yesterday, but the Crew, this is a franchise that I think, has a very cool sort of action bent to it. Tell us a bit about the Crew 2. Where is it set?
Well, the Crew 2, it's a big, gigantic, open world, online USA.
Okay.
Where you can go from coast to coast, all over the place,
So all of
open
the US.
world, all of the US,
Okay.
and it's more diverse and more beautiful than ever. And in this world, well, for this time, of course, you can drive all around with all kind of cars in the street, on the roads, off-road, but also in the air and in the waters, in the seas, in the rivers, because this time around we bring you not only all the ground vehicles, but any motorized vehicles you can imagine.
Oh, wow. Okay. So we're going to obviously get planes, trains.
Yeah.
We got trains in there?
Trains, maybe one day, but this time we'll focus on planes and boats and cars and bikes. So here
Jet skis?
Jet skis, no, because we're staying with, we maybe later.
Maybe
we
maybe
have a
that's
very
DLC.
long list,
Jet skis.
and this time around, what's the Crew in our DNA? It's an online game, it's a massive game, and when we release it, it's only the beginning. And we know that we will push more and more and more a diverse experience.
Right.
So here, for example, we're switching to speedboats.
Yep.
And what's very interesting for us is in the game today, you will have 4 main families, which you will discover through your exploration of the world: off-roaders, street racer, pro racer, and freestylers, and each bringing very specific disciplines, very specific kind of vehicles, and that will each have their specific skills you will need to master in driving, and with specific progression, of course, and challenges.
Wow. Well, it's amazing to see that you guys have, cars aren't enough. All of the U.S. isn't enough. Let's add boats. Let's add helicopters, planes.
So planes, helicopters, we're working on it.
Jet ski DLC, helicopter DLC. I'm calling it right
actually,
now.
it's never ending. And actually here for T3 with the build, you'll be able to play on the floor. What we wanted to bring is we've been street racing in New York, but what would we do if we had planes on the Hudson River, or if we could do aerobatics and a race with planes throughout downtown Manhattan. And actually, I think we nailed it pretty well, because just trying to get your path through the high-speed building, trying to get the curves, playing with the air currents, creates really, really unique experience.
So tell me about, it's one thing to say you're going to do all of the U.S., but how do you create that? Are you guys taking kind of like Google Maps data and then building the cities on top of that? How do you actually make the U.S.?
Well, when we make the US, it's of course, looking at the US, going through the US, and looking at all the, and feeling the experience, and what is it to be in New York, what is it to go from New York to LA, what are the key places, the key locations, the weather, and then we create to put that all into one single box to recreate this experience with the right sense of distance, of speed, but also density and
so how, obviously we're looking at incredible stuff in New York, but how dense is the environment? If someone lives in, Dallas, will they be able to drive up to their house?
Actually, what we wanted to do is not to recreate the actual real size US, but get the best of the US and put it into the box. So today, we have a gigantic US. The whole map's 120 kilometers per 80, so it's truly gigantic. But it's maybe 1/10 of the actual US map.
Just sort of the highlights. Of
so it's really the highlights and big enough to give you a sense of the distance. And this time around, bringing in, allowing you to rediscover with very different vehicles, with the boats, with the planes, and getting a very different sense of perspective. Really makes the experience very different. So here, of course, it's flying over the building of Manhattan, but in the distance you will see Brooklyn, or you will see New Jersey. Here we're going into the north of New York with another very, very different experience this time, which is on an off-road race where you can go anywhere. You have some sense of where you need to go, but then it's really open and it's really for you to find the best path and to outsmart your opponents.
Wow. Well, it's so cool to see that you guys are pushing in different directions with the Crew 2. I'm sure it's going to be very fun, and it'll come out later this year.
It's coming out earlier next year.
Early next year.
Early,
Okay,
next
early
year.
2018, the Crew 2. Get ready for it. It looks very cool. Ahmed, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great to see you. We've got more